Hi, I'm Bill Palmer, and this 2-volume video collection is about a very special club, one that has ridden the Australian basketball boom better than any other. The Perth Wildcats joined the NBL in 1982, and until 1987 were always in the bottom half of the ladder, never finishing better than 8th. But coming into season 1987, the Wildcats embarked on a campaign that has made them the envy of every other club in the nation and has yielded back-to-back championships in 1990 and 1991. It all goes back to 1986 when Perth businessman Bob Williams took a 60% stake in the club from the Western Australian Basketball Association and hired Cal Bruton, the man he believed could build a champion team. In 1987, the Wildcats made the grand final. In 88 and 89, they were beaten both years by North Melbourne in the semi-final. So come 1990, the Wildcats were primed for their first ever flag. At the end of the home and away games, the Wildcats were placed 5th behind North Melbourne, Eastside Melbourne, Brisbane, and the Melbourne Tigers. We begin this tribute to their amazing 1990 crusade with the first elimination game against the Melbourne Tigers.
They clear it out for him. He finds Pinder under the basket, banks it in off the glass.
Pinder's picked up the first foul early once more.
Colbert for 3. Hits. Nigel Purchase to Giddy. Bounce pass low post. Colbert working well. Got Crawford off his feet. Yes, he gets the continuation. The Tigers lead by 4. The Andrew Gazeless Tigers. Ellis turns it over. 3-on-1 break. Colbert combines with Simmons, who takes it all the way. Pinder for 3.
Oh! That's a long way away from the basket. Uncontested turnover once more from Pinder.
Giddy, strong.
Strong move on the baseline with a left-hand reverse layup.
This is a real gutsy performance by the Melbourne Tigers. Close for 3. Torrance kicks it out. Shot clock down to 9 and close for 2. Put on the line. Simmons came up with it. Gaze to Colbert. The jumper from outside hits for 2. A battle under the boards, close.
Another strong and critical move by Steve Davis.
Watterson goes to Torrance. Is fouled under the basket and the 2 points counts. You're in a comfort zone.
Yep.
Oh, the steal by Close. He'll take it all the way.
That was the Wildcats' 8th consecutive win at home. And around the league, the feeling was that without a seriously ill Andrew Gaze, the Melbourne Tigers superstar, the Tigers would not be able to match Perth in Game 2.
Great play. Slam by the Alabama Slammer.
But they kept the ball alive. Simmons to Colbert. Colbert pump fakes. 3-pointer. He's got 10. Challenging the Tigers to hurt him from the outside.
Close. Great play by the youngster. 19-year-old makes 2.
In this quarter with 9 minutes and 25 seconds remaining to play before halftime. Staying in that zone. Purchase with a flying frap doodle.
He wants somebody else to get a few more as well. Interception by Whitehead. Here come the Tigers. Simmons back to Whitehead. And he makes it. Great play by the youngster. Well, that's what the Tigers have tried to do. The quick transition. Colbert capitalizes with a slam.
See how Colbert reacts to the much smaller man, David Close, picking him up. Grace, penetration and dish, and jam to Crawford.
16 turnovers to 7. Remarkable. Colbert!
White shirt's a little bit slow to get back. Picked beautifully by Ellis. Straight to the hoop, dishes to Close. Lovely play by Ellis. 3-point lead now to Perth. Melbourne looking very uncomfortable at the other end. Oh, that goes in! A Hail Mary! That counts 3 points! Right before the buzzer, everybody was going to sleep thinking that the quarter was over. Purchase lobs one in from half court. Here it is. It goes in, and we go into the last quarter with a tied game, 84 apiece.
Well short. Davis to Ellis. Watterson, back he goes, and Torrance slaps. swung dramatically against them. Mark Gaze for three. He mightn't have had as quiet a night as this all season for the Wildcats. That was clever.
Blocking foul on Simmons, 2 points account. That's a frustration complaint more than anything else. Ellis in the open. Oh, lovely feed, Ellis. Throws the defense. If you can beat your man one-on-one when you have the ball, you're in trouble. Simmons down the middle for a slam. Milking the clock, the Wildcats. Crawford. Again, Grace, two very important plays.
In the past two seasons, 1988 and 1989, North Melbourne Giants had eliminated the Wildcats in the semifinals. Perth coach Cal Bruton was determined that this was the year the Wildcats would, in his own words, win some respect from the Giants. From this game, the Wildcats got some of that respect.
Ellis takes it at the defense, then kicks it out to Grace for three. A look away pass wide of the mark intended for Graham. Great outlet pass comes from Grace, and the layup is made by Ellis. By Torrance, who demands the foul. Grace got his hands on that one. Bad luck for the Wildcats. Good opportunism there by Graham.
Taking that favoured movement away.
Nice move by Grace off the glass. Pinder is back in the game. Hillman goes around Crawford. That's wonderful.
Nice strong move.
They're not taking the best opportunities on occasions. Strong rebound, a defiant one by James Crawford. Grace goes at them.
There's that strong left-handed move. The Wildcats bench applauding it.
Carroll, the veteran. Pinder the rebound. Ellis, the fast break. And the 2 points. Carroll, fine player over many seasons. And what a wonderful move. Off the ball, some heavy work between Watterson and Borner. Down goes Davis. Meantime, Leader hits for two.
That plus the 3 fouls on Tiny Pinder.
David close for three.
Oh!
Hillman got it to Borner inside. Great rejection by Crawford. Tries to go baseline, then the pass inside. Borner had the jam, but didn't have the ball.
The statement stuttered. That's the way it's done, says Crawford. Trying to find Crawford low on the baseline. He does. Crawford jinks, makes the move, finds Grace to give it back.
He sparked them just before halftime, along with Leader.
Oh, nice
marvelous
shot there by Fisher. Graham holding up the transition game then.
For three, Mike Ellis. He's got the hot hand at the present time. That was smart basketball. He gathers it like a wicketkeeper. Watterson goes baseline. Good defense there to close him down for three. Grace.
The clock here, but they really don't want to come down and pull the trigger.
Watterson for three. Oh, that's the ball game. You can't really foul Ellis because he won't miss at the line. Inside to Crawford.
They want to play this game out without incurring injury.
Graham lost at Pinder. Great vision. Slapped it to Crawford. Clock is down to 25 seconds. Ellis goes in and gets the most.
After that came Game 2 in Melbourne.
Hillman, who's been one of the big rookies of this year, in a great year for guards. Fisher drives at the basket and makes it. Perth has proven its call in the crisis. There's 3-zip in the final so far. Took Melbourne out in straight sets, and now Pinder under the basket. Great move there. Crawford tries to take the rebound. Borner, Hillman on a breakaway, can go all the way against Grace, and does, but misses. But in comes Leader for the two.
The Wildcats will have to get it up quick when it's touched in bounds. Lob to Ellis. Backs it out, probes again down the baseline. Lovely play, Mike Ellis. Dummied the defense.
Here's close. Now Ellis, top of the key, gets himself in a good shooting position, then goes through to Pinder. And Perth looking for a foul.
Substitution, come in.
And now Grace, with real pace, sets it to Crawford, who will slam dunk that home. And he makes that look easy. And Carroll comfortably is having an inspired 5 minutes, so Grace just whips that off him. Nelson's now on for North. Now this should be comfortable for Grace, and it is. So
got the yellow shirts really closing off the key. Grace pitching that ball about a meter out of Clark's hand. It slams it. He's got a shooter's attitude too. You can't make him unless you shoot him. Neither can Scott Fisher, a three-pointer to hit.
And one of the guards able to take it. They're playing Ellis, Grace and Watterson at the moment. And Pinder from inside. That might be his first 2 points for the quarter. It is. Pinder off. He had a terrific 3 or 4 minutes there. Now Crawford. Oh, magnificent. That was thrilling.
Perth looking that little bit quicker, I think, at this stage. We see Leader come down. Grace with 3 fouls, so he has to rest.
And Watterson missing it. Now Clark. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Clark makes it. And half-time. Corner. And Clark. And 2 points. So North go to 71-66. But trailing here by 6.
Turns into his own defense. Hillman finds the gap down the base. And Leader way up there.
Now Crawford and Grace in the 3-point situation, and he just drills it. 50 seconds now. Gee, Graham and Ellis off the ball, and Ellis in the end caught out, and Hillman should drill it, and he does. Just lays it up. Ellis will be upset with that.
North Melbourne has really made it hard for themselves, Bruce. Their shooting from the foul line has been very poor. Charging foul called on Pinder, and that's his 5th. So in their private battle between Pinder and Leader.
Third quarter, North Melbourne by 12 points. They'll be looking for just another 2.
Clark dribbles around Grace. Hillman with a stutter step move, drive to the basket. Some threes now. Davis will take a 2, however, if he gets a lane like that.
Davis against both ends for Stephen Davis. Now Close.
Oh, amazing basket by David Close.
About to go. Hillman Fisher could play that. And an excellent 2 points. It was a brilliant pass by Hillman.
Given that, it will need to be a physical game because that's where North Melbourne beat Perth in this one.
Well, what a way to finish for Nelson.
Game 3 was one of the most intense games I've seen in Australian basketball. Going into overtime, the last few minutes, well, we'll always remember, and for North Melbourne's Joe Hillman and David Graham, it must be something over which both have recurring nightmares. It was an astonishing game.
This is a triple. That was an easy shot. Should have made it. Clark to the basket. Well done. Stuffed under the outstretched arms.
Fisher on Crawford. Long range shot from Warner, rims out. A battle for the rebound. It comes to Fisher and he doesn't miss from there. To Jeff Davis high. Jeff Allen, I should say. Mike Ellis drives and scores. Straight through the key.
Hillman matching up on Grace now. Carroll on Ellis. There's Grace with a 3-pointer.
Fisher has a game-high 8 points. Ricky Grace has 7. Torrance has the ball swatted away. A great reject made by Scott Fisher. Man-to-man defense from the Giants. Torrance drives into the key, dishes off. Pinder puts up a long 2-point attempt, and it's good. So that's a turnover of possession to the Giants. Skinderis puts up his first shot, and what a success. No problem for Ray Borner, he's okay.
I think the floor said ouch, but he did. Hillman misses it. Pinder tips it in. But Allen doesn't kick the ball on quickly enough. There he gets it back and he slams it. So Grace found Allen. Crawford actually against North Melbourne is the second leading scorer behind Grace. And there's David Graham. He's happy to get up.
It's the defense of this North Melbourne team that's impressing. Ray Borner's doing the job on Crawford, and Fisher's still scoring.
Actually wasn't Crawford, but he beat him on athletic skill. Ellis blocks the big 6'10" corner. Can he make amends at the other? Yes, he does brilliantly. Ellis scored on that one under the hammer from David Graham. Carroll against 2 comes out with the ball. Hillman to the basket. Contact. Points count and the foul's called on Mike Ellis, and Hillman has hit the ground very hard. Fast break potential here. Carroll misses it. Ricky, great. James Tiny Pinder hit the floor hard as he was chasing the rebound. Martin Clark got into his legs.
It's nice and tight though. Clark and Pinder off the ball. Grace with some pace. makes some space, close for the three-pointer. Oh, what a shot that was.
So for Perth, Borner can't find it. Pinder taps it out. Perth closing off the middle, then Hillman loosens him up from the three-point range. Lob pass in, Pinder cuts it off. Played that pass very well. Shut off Borner. Perth with a chance to work on their one-point lead. Pinder from Grace, and Perth leads by 3. Grace misses that one. Fisher stays down, judges it better. Skinderis takes on Crawford. Oh, what a play! Fisher now cross courts into Skinderis. Yes! Ricky Skinderis now with 9. Both teams have the ability to really put a screen on. That's inside, fortuitous. It's bounced out to Pinder, and he scored. Hillman dogging Grace, inside Pinder, lovely backdoor move to Ellis, tremendous pass from Tiny Pinder. From inside to Grace, returns on his left hand, pushes it too hard, gets the ball back on his left hand, that's short. Pinder battling it out. Gold shirts will come out with the ball. White shirts, gold shirts, what enthusiasm. Grace misses the 3. Davis inside and is fouled. Unbelievable series of play. I don't know if we have that on replay. Somebody's on the floor. It's Mark Leader. We see a bit of blood there. I think that he's headbutted the floor.
If they can't score quickly, and Hillman, that one misses. Fisher, strong rebounder, gets himself in a good position. Won't go in though. Again, Fisher, yes, makes that.
Boy, that is strength.
Who also can shoot three-pointers. They may need those. Hillman, yes, does it again. What a wonderful player he is.
So Perth has a chance. A three-pointer will put them in front. 15 seconds. Ellis to the basket. He scores. We've got a tie ball game again. That misses. Pinder, big rebound inside. Good ball movement. Crawford with a 17-footer. Needs some more ball movement from North Melbourne. Fisher inside. Strong. Borner can't follow. And he goes to the ground, and I think Borner's hit his head. It's an accident. Fisher at the top. Crawford creeps out after him. David Hillman, two-pointer.
Remembering it's a place in the grand final for the winner. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Torrance for 2. A bonus there.
David Graham forces one. That'll be it. Perth will go to the grand final. There's a foul called on Ray Borner. David Graham changed his mind in mid-flight. And the Perth Wildcats have qualified for the 1990 NBL Grand Final, and they'll meet the Brisbane Bullets in game.
What a nail-biter that was. Perth had certainly earned that respect Cal Bruton was talking about, and no wonder, with stars like Ricky Grace directing the play, and the wall with James Crawford and Tiny Pinder on the front line. After overcoming North Melbourne, the Wildcats had to face the Brisbane Bullets in the grand final shootout. This series was especially significant for Coach Bruton because he had left the Bullets in acrimonious circumstances before taking on the Perth job. During the season, the two teams were 1-1. The first of the best-of-3 grand final was in Perth.
Bigger side up front. And the Bullets are going to have their work cut out on the boards. As I said in the keys to victory, Brisbane have to try and win on the boards. His average season score 34.6. Great recheck by James Crawford. Make any comment at this stage, but it's a great start by the Wildcats.
Sobering thoughts from Peter Mears. James Crawford is, well, one gets the impression, Peter, that this 8,000-strong bench is helping the Wildcats.
Nice clear out to Pinder. Not the 87 grand final. It was the last time in regular season these two teams played.
Turnover. Rucker's pass intercepted by Grace. Ellis almost loose. Well done, Pinder. Knew he couldn't make the basket. Rucker comes away with the rebound. Johnston. More big slam.
The dunk master. David Close. It was a tip by Leroy Loggins that put the shot off. Rucker a 3-on-2. Fox the layup. Good fast break.
Crawford goes up over the top. Pinder drags in the rebound uncontested and makes the easy 2. Mike Ellis continuing to do a good job in his duel with Derek Rucker, and there he dishes off to Steve Davis unattended under the basket.
Here's Grace doing his stuff on Rucker. It doesn't go, but he gets another opportunity.
Crawford over the top of Sibley, who got his hand to it. Loggins. Pinder got it back. Well, now that was pretty ordinary. Sibley. Grace got in. Now there is no foul called. Billy Mildenhall was right behind him. That's sensational D from Ricky Grace.
Both Moore and Crawford on 2 fouls. Rucker dribbling desperately, double team, but flips it straight to Grace. And it's just as soon gone back to the Bullets, a 3-on-2, in fact a 4-on-2, but Rucker decides to shoot for 3 and makes it.
Tony Pinder using the body on him. Good defense from Pinder. Here's 2. Oh, yes he does. The favoured left-handed dunk by Ricky Grace.
His radar shot doesn't go though. Good outlet from Fox to Rucker, and he'll lay this one in. A charge. The points count.
They get the ball from the side, and Rucker stood motionless. Well, great vision, great assist, and the foul. So that 5-second differential. Clever pass, jammed by Pinder. Their outside game has not been successful if you take that off their total. Shot clock comes down past the 10-second buzzer. Underhanded dish off from Davis finds Pinder 2 more. Rucker lets the shot go early. Gee, that's a nice 3-point basket. The Wildcats have to play a little more defense and foul the shooter.
Steal by the Bullets. Sibley to Rucker. Rucker has it swatted away by Ellis. Great defense, but Rucker gets it back again. It goes to Close. Close will go all the way under a lot of defense, and that was a vital 2 points.
Turley's calling for a foul. Through goes Grace. Pinder banks it off the glass and makes 2. I suspect Brisbane will want to get the shot away fairly early. More clever pass from Loggins.
And a big slam dunk.
So Grace takes his time. 10 seconds. Say goodnight. Loggins gets the steal off Crawford. Puts it up for the biggest 3 you'll see all night. And makes it. That was sensational. Down goes the clock. And the Wildcats have won their first ever grand final game. 112 to 106. Let's just soak up this atmosphere for a minute.
An NBL record crowd of 13,221, and I love them all, packed into Boondall Stadium in Brisbane to see Game 2, and boy, did they get their money's worth.
Ellis already. Rucker, who initiated that with the steal. Oh, nice no-look pass. Finds Sibley, who slams it.
That's the give and go.
Fox again has made the cut. Grace, close hands. Fox allowed a little room baseline. Found Sibley. Excellent vision from Fox and a great move from Robert Sibley to make the 2 and the bonus.
22 to 14 for the Bullets. 3 minutes 20 to go till quarter time. James Crawford, who's been hot with his shooting touch, does it again off the glass. An awkward shot.
They do the old skin fold test. Incredibly fit. Great interception from Watterson. Managed to direct it to Pinder. The long pass was probably a low option shot. Sibley managed not to step out of bounds. 2-on-1. Moore will jam it and does.
What a jam from the A-Train. We saw one in Perth last week and we're watching it again.
The Bullets lead 24-18.
Yes, and as we're saying, that pressure defense resulting in 2 turnovers to the Bullets.
Here's Loggins on the fast break. Had to slow it down. Fox comes with him. And over the top of Crawford. That's great play from Greg Fox, who's grown in stature throughout these playoffs. He's bleeding quite profusely from the nose.
He still has the job on Ellis, who gets it out to David. Radar close. And he makes 3, which is exactly what he's on the court to do. He doesn't try too many, but those he tries, he makes on 1 out of 2.
McGraw a good rebound. Rucker goes to his mate Sibley and tips it in for 2. These 2 are combining like coffee and cream at the moment.
Andre Moore, Leroy, Derek Rucker, quick hands the Bullets. Sibley tries to take on Crawford. Great rejection.
All-round offense from the Perth Wildcats using the players. We're watching Duncan Johnson there. He's got a flat nose as well as a bandaged shoulder. So
He looks a bit like James Buster Douglas today.
Oh, lovely assist from Andre Moore. The slam dunk from Robert Sibley.
Leroy, baseline finds Sibley. Pass almost went beyond Rucker. He did well to keep it in his hands.
that's goaltending.
Yes, it was
on the way down, but an excellent lead from James Crawford.
But it is a decided physical disadvantage not having him there. Rucker then, as he brings it forward. Grace comes out to do the job defensively. The alley-oop pass is sensational.
Well, that's a real assist there. Beautifully timed assist to Andre Moore.
They won't do it that way. Sibley, Moore.
That was a fair block, still on the way up. That's what the referee's done. Let it play on.
Once again, Crawford jams it. A handoff came from Grace.
Crawford, close. Looked like he was going to shoot, but decided against it. They go to JC, and he slams it, a monster slam dunk. The Perth cheer girls love it.
So 18 points the difference now. That's as far as the lead has been stretched. Now it's about to go to 20. Close can't do anything. And Rucker jams it just to emphasise the point.
Perth has 23, Brisbane has 18. Rucker 7, Grace has 6. There's Rucker, a huge...
That's from yesterday.
Oh, that's a big one. Fox misses, more misses, and it's a rebound to Trevor Torrance. Mike Ellis takes it all the way off the glass for 2. The Wildcat skipper.
They become very flat-footed when things start going against them.
Rucker drives well past Torrance and charges, and that is his fifth foul. Derek Rucker is out of this ball game. It won't be out here. The Wildcats need a couple more three-point bombs. The Bullets simply need to play the clock down. They can take this game. Andre Moore takes the lead back out to 10, and unless something dramatic happens, that could be the sealer.
With a minute and 36 to go. Torrance up for 3, yes, he makes it. Darren Breeding's out there, which is great for the youngster. That's Adams. Breeding, his chance for glory. Yes, he's made it. How about that?
That's the first 3 points. That's the first 3 points Darren Breeding has made this season, and it was in the grand final.
So there it is. 106 to 90. The Brisbane Bullets defeat the Perth Wildcats in Game 2. Just listen to the crowd.
Brisbane's big three, Rucker, Moore, and Loggins, certainly broke the defensive shackles in Game 2. So coming up to the decider, defense was going to be the key. Bruton needed big games from all Wildcats, particularly Ricky Grace and Captain Mike Ellis. Ellis was the only original Wildcat still there, and a championship ring was something he would especially prize.
Well, let's look at the 2 lineups. Firstly, the visitors, the Perth Wildcats.
For the Wildcats, number 4 is guard Eric Watterson. Number 5, Tiny Pinder playing forward. And number 6, Mike Ellis hoping to find his shooting touch. Number 7 holds the key to Perth's fortunes, James Crawford. And number 10, Trevor Torrance, will he start tonight? Number 11, Steve Davis is a former Queenslander playing forward. And number 15, Ricky Amazing Grace playing guard. Number 23, Craig Evans is a guard forward. And number 24, Rob Dempster back home in Perth's colours. Number 44, the outside bomber, David Close.
It's on the line now. I mean, there's no tomorrows, and as I said to the guys, I believe they worked too long and too hard to just give it away.
For the Perth Wildcats, there was a lot of rumours going around that David Close would start. In fact, Trevor Torrance has held his place. Ricky Grace, Mike Ellis, Tiny Pinder, Trevor Torrance, and James, the Alabama Slammer Crawford in the tip-off with Andre Moore.
John Musgrove, a quick word about the way the teams start.
I think the key for both of them is going to settle down as quickly as possible. This is it, the last game. And I think the team that comes out of the blocks quicker, settles down and gets an early lead, will hold the box seat. So both of them will be keen to press the advantage quickly.
Tiny Pinder gets the first possession of the game. It goes to Mike Ellis, who had a quiet game in Game 2 on Friday night. They'll be looking for some improvement from the backcourt, the Wildcats. Torrance, who also had a fairly quiet one. Pinder, whose knees must be a bit stiff and sore, but he'll forget about that pain in this big game. And Perth content to take their time. The shot selection is good, and from the top of the key, James Crawford opens the scoring.
It's pretty well perfect for Perth. They got everybody to have a touch of the ball, moved it around, get a few of the butterflies worked out, and go for a good shot to Crawford. So they started off perfectly.
For the matchups, Torrance has Loggins. That's probably going to be the most crucial matchup of this game. Rucker. Just a little bit of room from Mike Ellis, puts it up, gets his own rebound. He did that an annoying number of times as far as the Wildcats are concerned on Friday night. Pinder, though, this time, Grace brings it forward. The Wildcats bench up off their chairs already, understandably. Ellis, Pinder. The rotation once again, every player in the team involved. Ellis makes the drive, dishes out to Pinder baseline, the layup works, and the Wildcats go for it.
Well, that's the way they need to start. They've done it well. They've really worked that ball around. The more you keep the possession of that ball, work the clock down, the harder you make the defense work. And everybody feels a little more comfortable having felt the ball. And there have been 2 very good shots they've picked.
Greg Fox has a foul called on Ricky Grace, who was just a little bit too aggressive in his defense. And Perth has started out much the same way as they started in Game 1. Certainly selecting the right shot.
milking the clock down, but the first foul going to the Bullets.
And that's Greg Fox's job out there as he drives all the way to the button and pulls another foul. Playing a key defensive role for the Brisbane Bullets. He's going to stay on Ricky Grace's hammer the whole night. That foul on Tiny Pinder.
I don't think Brisbane have started out as well as they would have liked to. As we just watched Greg Fox again driving through the centre of the key. He'll get a little bit of contact right there across the arms from Tiny Pinder. But Brisbane started up with a wall across the top of the key to try and get Derek Rucker the first shot and first possession. And Perth broke that defensively and stopped that getting away. And now they've come down to look for that drive from Greg Fox. If it wasn't for the foul, I think that they would have picked the Wildcats would have picked that rebound up. So not as much motion in the Bullets starting offensive move.
Greg Fox, who had 20 points in game 1, a career high for him. I think the unsung hero with 10 points in game 2, but great defense. And he's opened the scoring for the Bullets. It's 4-2 to the Wildcats. Grace, double team. Brisbane pressing up in defense, but they break the shackles. Grace brings it up. Across to Ellis. Inside to James Crawford. Kicks it back for an attempted 3 by Ellis, and it bounces around the rim, and Robin Ellis won't be happy with that. It didn't go in, but at least Tiny Pinder has drawn the foul. Good aggressive play by the Perth Wildcats, and the first personal foul called on Robert Sibley.
I know it's a grand final, but I have never seen a team as pumped up on the bench as what the Perth Wildcats are right now.
The intensity on Tiny Pinder's face as he came down from that was fairly evident as well. So Pinder at the stripe.
Pinder had 16 points in game 2 after a magnificent game, a match-winning performance in game 1 in Perth. It was fairly quiet, second game by his standards. That's a little short. 5-2, 1 of 2 for Tiny Pinder. Loggins brings it up. Torrance is on him, working hard on defense. Rucker inside to Moore. He's matching up with Crawford. Out to Fox. The Bullets content to work it around. Perth working very hard in defense. Baseline is Fox. Back it goes for the jumper by Moore, but that doesn't go in. A battle for the rebound. There's hustle on the floor. Anybody's ball. Eventually it kicks away to Crawford. He slips it away to Ellis. Sibley races back in defense.
Both teams want to win this, as was evident on Friday night. They were diving for everything on the ball. Good refereeing once again. The referees let the game flow. All incidental contact, nobody disadvantaged, and it's going to make a spectacle of the game if that continues.
5-2 the Wildcats.
At this stage, it's a dogfight rather than a basketball game.
Ricky Grace looks at the basket, decides to kick it back to Torrance, then to Ellis. The whole of the Perth bench is up again, and they've milked down the time clock and had to turn over the ball, so that was bad play.
They're still taking their time, which is good tactics. They're using the defense and making it work. And that's what they need. Brisbane, on the other hand, are just lacking a little bit of momentum in their offense, still trying to do one-out moves, looking for Derek Rucker to do exactly that, and he gets away with it that time. They want him to feel hot, so they're trying to get him to open up fairly early in the match.
Ellis again. Grace. Well, it's a low option pass cut out by Rucker. Fox goes all the way, takes it off the glass. 5-6, the Bullets in the lead.
The Bullets would like that side of their offense. They really want to run this. Every chance they get off a rebound or out of bounds, they'll try and get that ball up quickly and look for the fast break.
Crawford thinks about going past Sibley. Sibley has other ideas. Grace will take on Fox baseline. The little left-handed layup is good. And the lead changes again, 7-6 in favour of the Wildcats. So Rucker settles down the Bullets. Crowd right behind the home team. Fox given room baseline. Grace takes the rebound from the rim. Has Pinder on his right. Checks. Ellis thought about the 3. That pass found Torrance, who turned and made 2. All net.
But Perth are the ones that seem to be starting with a little more confidence. As we said, both teams want to get out of the blocks early. If you can get a bit of a lead in a game like this, it helps your nerves go and sort of settle a little bit quicker. If you're behind, you're constantly having to chase, constantly having that little bit more pressure behind you and forcing things. Derek Rucker forced into a little bit of a pass under pressure then to Robert Sibley, who just tripped over. But Perth will like this little bit of a buffer, even if it's only 5 or 6 points for a while, just to settle into the game.
Bit of misunderstanding between the two teammates there, Rucker and Sibley. We saw them operate so effectively in game 2. Sibley that time losing his balance and turning the ball over. And a foul has been spotted off the ball by referee Billy Mildenhall. Robert Sibley owns up. That's his second personal. started like a bomb in game 2. He had 10 points in the first quarter. He only finished with 12 for the match, but played terrific defence, Sibley.
And his knee's not very good either. Suffering from very painful tendinitis, Robert Sibley. Fatigue is going to be a big factor with the Brisbane Bullets because basically they play the same starting five throughout the whole game.
And they played the fast break style all game, and we saw what happened in the last quarter of that last match as the foul is called on Tiny Pinder. Tiny Pinder's first personal foul, and that's the team foul situation, so it's a 1-and-1.
In fact, that's Pinder's second foul.
Second, right.
So,
not a 1-and-1.
as he's prone to do.
Will be. That's right, it's only 3. Yes, Tiny does tend to foul early, although in the first game in Perth he didn't. Sibley to Moore. Moore, a nice little move around Crawford. Has an amazingly soft shooting touch, this big man. Good feet. And the fans here love it. So that's 9-8 to the Wildcats.
Well, Tiny Pinder's been in this game many, many years, and he knows how to play with a few fouls. He was sitting on 4 fouls early in the last quarter last week and still played the game out, so that won't be too much of a concern to him, although a good chance to have a break and maybe just again let the nerves and the excitement die down a little bit.
So Steve Davis with the beard is on. Grace goes inside to James Crawford. The Alabama Slammer, lovely little jump shot over the top of an opponent, and that's 11 points to 8 to the Wildcats.
It's very important that Robert Sibley gets down low on James Crawford because he can't match him in the air, particularly when he's suffering from bad knees. And Crawford is going to have Sibley on him all night as well.
Yes, and doubly so, Glenn, because Robert Sibley has a nice little step inside that basket, and James Crawford likes to leap for the block. So if he can get him into the air, he has a chance of picking up a foul on him.
That's what Trevor Torrance does best. And that's what the Wildcats do best, that run and stun. We have a timeout at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre.
The replay of that last play, Trevor Torrance on the fast break, as he loves to play it. That's typical Wildcats play. When they're flowing, they like to run the ball, run and gun, as do the Bullets.
That's goal 10. Hit the backboard before James Crawford got to that, so that'll be a goal 10. 2 points to Derek Rucker.
James Crawford's arm was 2 or 3 feet above the hoop there.
Now the shooting percentages are interesting. Perth have shot 86% so far in the game. Brisbane 37.5. Only 3 out of 8, so they're really shooting bricks. Both certainly content to move the ball around and then look for the open man. Ellis puts up his first shot and it's good. So that's a good omen for the Wildcats. Just 2 that one. 15-10, a 5-point split for the Wildcats.
Both teams extending their defence, going right out to the man, not giving much latitude at all, as we saw on Friday night. That'll go for the whole game. Most of them playing full court of pressure also after a scored bucket, but they will mix it up and change that pattern throughout the game just to try and make the offence look at the defence, take a little bit of time to see what they're doing.
Brisbane press up in defence again, but Davis does well to get the ball away to Ellis, and inside goes a slam dunk from the Alabama Slammer. Makes it 17 points to 12.
Chris McGraw coming out as we watch this once again. Mike Ellis going in a beautiful flick back behind him to James Crawford, and in that close, Crawford knows only one way to score, jam it through. Why not? Spectacular part of the play. But McGraw being brought out now to add a bit more defensive starch in that line-up down low. Probably just go and put a little bit of his body, lay a bit of body onto either Crawford and probably Pinder when he comes in as well.
Credit Mike Ellis with a much better start in this game than game 2. He will be well and truly fired up, the Wildcats veteran. Noticeably, though, Leroy Watkins has had a quiet start again. The crowd here will simply be waiting for him to explode, as will his teammates, and I'm sure the Perth Wildcats as well.
Well, I mentioned one of the keys to victory for the Bullets was to keep the tempo of the game up. Perth doing very well to go and deprive them of that at the moment. They are working the ball around, as we saw there once again, a drive through the middle, taking their time, plenty of patience, using up the half-court clock.
Great drive, Mike Ellis.
Yeah, that was superb stuff from the Wildcat skipper.
Rucker. Davis got the hand to it. Torrance rather got the hand to it. He's playing good D on Leroy.
I don't think Logan struggles against anyone as much as Trevor Torrance in the league, in fact, Dave.
He's very fleet of foot, ZT. Fox did well to get in there. McGraw has drawn the foul from Steve Davis or Trevor Torrance. Steve Davis up. No, Trevor Torrance it is. His first personal.
Quite rightly, Cal Bruton calling for a 3-second call there. The Bullets were in the paint for a long, long time.
So it'll be McGraw at the stripe. Bullets down by 7. And the crowd understandably silent.
ready for their whoosh. A well-practiced routine. And they'll be hoping for a lot more of them as this game progresses. Quarter time in game 1, the Wildcats led 32-20. Quarter time in game 2, it was the Bullets 28-20. So 19-14 at the moment. Grace. Crawford.
James Crawford's going to come out of the game for Tiny Pinder.
Well, that's probably a sensible rotation as long as Davis is doing the job they require of him. Eddie Crouch has seen that.
Chris McGraw was grabbing for the ball and got the player as well in there, and that certainly went and made a difference in the play, so he's going to be picked up for the foul. And the referees are doing very well in that they are allowing the contact in there to go on so long as it's incidental. There is no disadvantage. That time there was a disadvantage, so they're calling it, and that's great because it opens up free-flowing basketball and lets the players get into the game.
Certainly the Perth Wildcats backcourt is producing much more effectively than in game 2. David Close is out there. Ricky Grace puts up a 3 and he makes it. A vital bucket, 22 points to 14. That's the biggest lead of the game. 8 points, the Wildcats lead.
Well, the Perth are the team that's got out with the blocks quickest and got that early lead. They'll learn to go and protect that now, and they'll like that little bit of lead. Derek Rucker is going to make it hard to help pull that back, but with a bit of a buffer, Perth can just again take their time, frustrate the Bullets even more. They won't rush their offense. They'll use the clock, make the defense play, and look for the good open opportunities.
Fox dogging Grace like a glove.
This is man-to-man defense at its best.
Hustle for the ball on the ground. Close just gets it along the ground. Back to Davis, who will go out of bounds.
That's a backcourt
ball. It's a backcourt anyway.
I thought for a moment the referee wasn't going to call it.
He did. Eddie Crouch doesn't miss much. Rucker pulls up for the jumper. It's way short. Tiny Pinder.
Mike Ellis got a handle on that. Take credit to his defense.
Close. Grace decides he might as well shoot it, and he's not at the moment, so why not? 25-16.
Greg Fox has to come out on Ricky Grace on those. He needs to be the pace and a half away from him, John Musgrove.
Yes, he's giving Grace too much latitude. The thing that's helping Grace too, though, David Close is a threat out there in the three-point line, and he's getting into that position all the time, forcing the Brisbane defense to adjust out wide on him, and then Grace is getting just that little bit more room to move.
Well, Leroy Loggins has lost the ball.
Good defense from David Close.
And Leroy yet to score in the game, so things not going well for Brisbane, but for Perth, everyone's firing. Mike Ellis is going to have a break. He's playing very well indeed at the moment. He's got 4 points, and Eric Watterson's out there.
Duncan Johnson as well.
Duncan's okay. He just had a bruised shoulder from game 2.
Greg Fox has gone off for a bit of a rest, and you can't blame him. Chasing Ricky Grace 15 minutes is enough to make anyone tired.
If you have a chance, watch inside. This battle between McGraw and Pinder. There's going to be a lot of contact in there. They're going to try and jockey for position.
Grace over the top of Duncan Johnston. Kicked it away to Pinder and lost it.
Too clever by half.
Yeah, Pinder didn't read it. Duncan Johnston, the rookie who was injured in game 2 and missed most of the game. So Loggins, can he lift the Bullets? They're down 25-16 with 2 minutes to go. Rucker, baseline.
Rucker now looking better.
2 points to Derek Rucker, who now has 8.
Well, if the Bullets are going to bring this lead back a little bit, they're going to have to do it on defense, as they have been doing. Look for the turnovers and try and get a couple of steals, but they're also going to have to block out and make sure they don't give Perth too many offensive rebounds and second shots. And at the moment, Perth ruling that category, as they do. Once again, Eric Watterson getting in underneath, nobody blocking him out, and still nobody watching him.
Well, there's money for Jam for Perth. 3 attempts at shooting it, nobody blocking out for Brisbane, and so the ultimate result, 27 points to 18.
Dreadful defense from the Bullets then.
Yeah, whoever's got Watterson really needs a rap on the knuckles then. He probably was in a help-out situation, but nonetheless, there must have been somebody watching him on that weak side. Again, not going to block people out. They'll certainly get plenty of offensive boards.
Perth getting ready to bring on their 8th player from the bench, Craig Evans. So Cal Bruton not scared to rotate his bench. A real scrap again. Johnston does the sensible thing and just taps it back to Rucker, who tries to drive. Watterson is there. Johnston given three-point freedom. Rips out, but Moore is there for the rebound. The turnaround jumper is good for 2. And we have a 7-point ball game again, 27-20.
Tell you what, Andre Moore just has a strange shot. You watch this shot again, it doesn't seem to come off his wrist at all. When we watch him fade away, he just rolls it off his arms. Not a lot of fingers in it, but boy, is it accurate. He gets that up plenty of height, fading away, a bit like Tiny Pinder, really, but pushes it off the bottom of his palm.
Andre Moore needed that bucket too, because he's missed plenty from in close.
Blocking foul. It's on Steve Davis. Now, Perth have only one member of their starting 5 on the court at the moment. That's Tiny Pinder. They're running at the moment with Close and Watterson in the backcourt. Evans is a small forward or third guard. And Pinder and Davis doing the big man work against McGraw and Moore. The foul under the basket, I think, will be Davis again. It is, and for Steve Davis, that's foul number 2. For the Wildcats, it's the 6th foul in the first quarter.
If we watch this once again, just going through, looking for the contact in there, we see Leroy Loggins go through. The first one's missed. Chris McGraw will go and pick up his ball when it comes through. He'll go up again, and we'll stop it right there. And where we're looking for action is, if we just look way down here, trying to get the chalk in there, just in there with the shoulders on it where the contact occurred.
So McGraw has made the first of his 2. You heard the whoosh in the background. There goes the second. Whoosh again. 5 points the split. Now there's a differential between the game clock and the shot clock. The shot clock says 25, the game clock 27. So the Wildcats will want to milk it as far down as they can, make a basket, and deny Brisbane. Watterson hassled by Johnston. Interesting scrap between these two. Davis set the pick. Evans, quick hands, Close, gets it up, back out to Evans. Watterson needs to get the shot away with 3. They missed a violation. That is sloppy.
They missed an opportunity in there too, because Davis had a clear cut to the bucket as he goes and swats it away down the other end.
Steve Davis, sensation.
Their offense working well for the Wildcats, but they must keep watching those other players who are making a couple of holes on the inside.
0.1 of a second is left.
What a manoeuvre from Steve Davis.
It was 0.1 of a second. The shot's got to go, but it hasn't gone by the time it leaves his hand. A very, very entertaining first quarter at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre.
So the Perth Wildcats had started on top. A reverse of game 2 where the Bullets had a comfortable lead, an 8-point lead at quarter time.
Starting 5's back on again.
Ellis on Fox, Pinder on Moore, Torrance on Loggins, and that shot is well short, but Torrance will get another attempt, decides to kick it back.
And not blocking out once again, and Pinder getting position, and twice then in an offensive position on Andre Moore as well. They must block out, particularly Tiny Pinder. You'd almost have to go and glue yourself to him because the man is going to get plenty of second boards, and he doesn't miss a second time. He's dangerous
another
inside.
thing, John, another interesting statistic is Brisbane have shot 44% from the field and no 3-pointers. Perth 79% from the field, 67% from the 3-point line.
Well, 79% from the field is an amazing statistic. Leroy's up, 2 points.
A team that does take a little bit of patience as they have a turnover. Leroy Loggins picking it up another opportunity, and that falls the second time. Good follow, good rebound, tip in. Perth's high percentage, I think, can be very much accounted for the fact they are playing patiently with their offense and looking for good shots, the right shots, not hurrying their shots, and they are being very patient.
Another stat, 11 assists to 4 to Perth. So it's only 3 points the difference now after it was 5 at quarter time. Pinder has a good look at the basket, decides no, not quite this time.
He's actually held back so far. He hasn't let one go from any sort of range yet.
Perth content to move it around. Ellis dishes off to Pinder. There's that fall-away jumper shot. And the Bullets get the possession through Fox off the defensive rebound. Loggins bodies in against Torrance, dishes off and loses it.
Leroy was looking for Robert Sibley to cut in towards the bucket then, and Robert thought it was going to pop out for the jump shot, so miscommunication.
So the Perth Wildcats get the ball, and we've seen a couple of fruitless trips down the court for each team.
Yeah, Carl Bruton not too happy. It's back to a 3-point ball game.
Carl very pumped up for this game. He's looking for his first title as a coach. Of course, he played in 82 against Leroy Loggins, who was with Adelaide then, lost. 85, he played for Brisbane and won as a player. 87, he lost as a coach. And there's a good basket by Crawford. Kicks it away to 5 again.
James Crawford playing a much bigger part in the game this week than he has in the past 2. 8 points to Crawford at the moment, and looking very dangerous from that little spot just outside the key where he likes that turnaround jumper.
So Sibley going to the line, 31-26. And he hasn't scored a point in the game so far, Robert Sibley, who is suffering from this tendonitis in the knees, but I'm sure he'll play the full game out. Bench boys, McGraw and Johnston.
Players like Robert Sibley and Greg Fox have to do so much defence because they're marking the two most vital players in the opposition lineup. Therefore, consequently, their offensive game sometimes falls away.
So he's made 1 out of 2, and that makes the score now 31-27, just a 4-point game.
Steve Davis doing a great job, I think, out there at the moment for Perth.
Yeah, very often an underrated player. Nice assist from Ellis. Up went Moore and has fouled Torrance. But good anticipation by Andre Moore. Knew the pass was going there. Unfortunately, Torrance just had a little bit too much.
Have a look at this replay once again too, and we'll see where the foul comes down. Andre Moore is actually in pretty good position here when he goes up for the ball, but what happened, we just missed it then, was his hand dropped down and he tried to go and block the ball. Once his hand drops over the body, that's where the contact is going to be picked up and called by the referees. But body position is pretty good.
Trevor Torrance, Calvert. Heartbeat missed with every basket missed, I'd say, today. So Fox, with Grace sticking to him, not as closely as he has. Torrance, who's wearing Loggins like a glove today. Away come the Wildcats in numbers. 2-on-1. Ricky Grace to Mike Ellis. Regulation layup, and the Wildcats sprint to a 7-point lead again. 34 plays 27.
It was almost reminiscent of Friday night. The Bullets took the lead on Friday night, got themselves about a 10-point buffer, and the Wildcats had come back. Just as they'd get close, the Bullets would extend again. Now it's going the same pattern, but with the Wildcats in front, they've got a bit of a buffer, about 7 or 8 points. The Bullets get close, and then they start to pull it back again. So, very reminiscent pattern.
Crawford. Oh, what a drive. Couldn't finish the shot off. Some good defense on him. Ricky Grace put a little bit of pace on Greg Fox and has drawn the foul. But
This is the guy who's lifting them, the skipper, Mike Ellis, who had such a quiet game in game 2. That was a great drive.
They've pulled back to that 9-point safety zone once again. That helps them. Now the Bullets have won. They've got to go and try and change the rhythm again with some good offense. Probably rushing a bit then, Leroy Loggins, and particularly some very, very torrid defense. They've got to go try and force those turnovers again by pressuring the Perth players.
Loggins only has 4 points for the game so far. He's been shut out pretty well. Ellis and Grace doing the job well. Grace to Crawford inside. Reese is on there, tried desperately to block it, but couldn't stop the shot. James Crawford has 10 points for the game. Maybe Brian Curl's got to look at switching around somebody on Ricky Grace for a while. Maybe putting Leroy Loggins out there with a bit of height and some anticipation, because although Grace is not looking for his shot all the time, he is able to control play and setting up the offense for Perth very well. They need to go and force him to do what he doesn't want to do. Loggins with a tip in after a long attempt by Rucker. So the score 38-29 to the Wildcats, and Pinder ready to come on again.
You can't teach a basketballer what Loggins did then. That's just sheer anticipation. It comes from being a natural.
You're watching Greg Fox play defense here. He's playing very good defense, but you notice Grace still able to keep control. He's not being forced to go and worry about what Fox is doing against him.
Grace attempting 3, doesn't find it. Rucker gets the rebound. Rucker's starting to feel this game now. Almost lost that. Fox decides to drive into Reese, and Reese doesn't miss from there. Brisbane bench starting to get into this game on their feet, urging the team on. It's back to 7, 38-31. A couple of subs being made. Steve Davis and Ricky Grace coming off. Eric Watterson coming on.
A chance to change the defensive assignments now. It's good substituting by Perth. They're keeping the rotation moving very quickly. Every time they make a substitution, Brisbane have got to readjust to a new defensive pattern.
Pinder, who's just come on after a break. Torrance. Crawford, the jumper, is short. Again, Rucker gets the rebound. Rucker decides to go coast to coast and draws the foul. Mike Ellis.
Still a 13-point split to the visitors. 62 plays 49. 9.5 left in the third quarter. So it's still anybody's game. Crawford, lightning pass. Grace can't convert. Gets up again for the second shot. And that falls.
And another offensive rebound converted for the Wildcats. Makes about 10 this game. That's 20 points from second opportunity.
The Bullets' big men are not doing their job, and Ricky Grace can get the rebound.
Rucker. They may need him to start letting loose with a few three-point bombs again.
That's a fall-away shot that would be hard to match with anyone. Pure athleticism.
Ellis takes on Loggins, then comes back. Grace to set it up. Pinder coming towards him, but drives away. Crawford, Ellis baseline, underneath Sibley, dishes back out to Grace. Well, low option pass. Andre Moore read it well, but it should never have gone to him. Rucker, Loggins, basket 10, but didn't James Crawford get up high again?
Well, I think that's 6 points now the Bullets have scored this game on goaltending, and all of them coming from the hands of James Crawford. Just doesn't know his own spring at times right above the ring. His elbow's almost collided on the front of the ring.
So a couple of changes being rung in. Eric Watterson coming on for Ricky Grace.
They thought about bringing Crawford off, but have thought better of it.
So Perth bring the ball up through Watterson. 64 to 53 to Perth. Crawford can't get past Sibley. To Torrance, the turnaround jumper is short. Knocked back to Loggins. Crowd likes that.
The Bullets desperate for a three-pointer at this stage. Rucker puts up a shot. It doesn't go.
And Pinder again.
Bullets have yet to land a three-pointer in the game. Whereas Perth have got 4. Sibley at this moment only has 1 point for the game and no rebounds.
One thing the Bullets might need to do when they go back down in offense is to try and take it in against Tiny Pinder a bit more. With 3 fouls, he is susceptible as a three-pointer comes from Ellis. But with 9 rebounds, Tiny Pinder is really one of the big keys at the moment for the Wildcats. So many of those on the offensive boards too. So they need to try and get him into a bit of foul trouble if they can.
Mike Ellis, 15 points. That's his first bomb. Fox drives in. Sibley didn't read the pass. It's a turnover again. And the Bullets are gradually playing themselves out of contention. They're down by 14.
Still a long way to go. Fox is playing very good D. At least this far out. Torrance. Rucker has the defensive assignment on Trevor Torrance. A foul called off the ball. Blocking foul.
Tiny Pinder too. That's his 4th.
Well, that's about the last thing the Wildcats needed. Tiny Pinder isn't all that happy. Steve Davis goes over and just tries to call him a little bit.
Well, we said they needed to take the ball at Pinder in offense to try and draw some fouls off, and we didn't expect it to happen. They were playing then on the offensive end. That's a bonus, really, for the Bullets.
You can read lips. Tiny just said there ain't no way. Unfortunately for the Wildcats, the whistle's gone. And it don't matter what you say. Leroy loses the hand on it, regains it. Grace came over the top and was lucky not to be called for a foul. Davis, Perth's quiet achiever, Steve Davis. Grace calls for the rotation. It's Torrance rotating forward. There he is. He'll go baseline, dish back out to Grace. He thought about shooting, eventually puts it up. The basket stands.
4 fouls on Loggins.
The basket stands, he'll get the bonus, and as Glenn Palmer said, more importantly for the Wildcats, and certainly for the Bullets, a 4th foul to Leroy Loggins.
Yes, and that's going to even things up a little bit. Tiny Pinder really the linchpin for the Wildcats now on the bench with 4. We're still 6 minutes and 12 minutes in the next quarter to go, but even a little with Loggins in there on a 4th foul as well.
Would you leave Loggins in there?
Yeah, Leroy, I think, is one of those players who really can play with 4 fouls, and at the moment he's, when you're 14 points down or more now, 17 points down at this stage, you really can't afford to take him out.
So this is the biggest lead of the game for the Wildcats. Loggins has to produce something now. He misses with that shot. Playing his 7th grand final, Leroy, and everyone expected he would be the difference in favour of Brisbane.
17
he's
points.
only got 12 points.
17 points is a huge split now for the Bullets to have to come back and break.
Well, we saw the Wildcats on Friday night, 22 points. They were down in that last quarter, bring it back to 4 or 5. Basketball is a game of momentum and rhythm, so I wouldn't write any team off at this stage, but certainly I think the Wildcats would enjoy the buffer they've got at the moment.
Brilliant reject by Andre Moore. Great defensive play. Rucker bumping aside Watterson. Fox dishes off. Sibley loses it. Can't do anything right.
and the Bullets will switch to a zone defence. They weren't getting enough rebounds out of the man-to-man, so they'll go and put the triangle in the back that they'll get in a 2-1-2 zone and hope they can block out. They'll also lessen the chances of Leroy Loggins hopefully picking up that last foul.
Of course, that'll open the door for David Close to let loose with some bombs. And here he goes with one now. He'll make this one.
He never misses, it seems. Well called, GP. All game, Perth is shooting 68% to Brisbane's 50%. And in the three-point area, they're out shooting them by 6-1. And the bench just loving it.
It's a great way to break a zone. No better way if you can have your outside shooters bombing from out there. They'll break it pretty quickly.
So it's the Rucker Moore show again. That's a turnover. Eventually it comes back to David Close. It's a rebound, I suppose.
The way he's going closer, he could have shot it from there.
The way he's going at the moment, he could.
It hardly seems fair when you can shoot that well.
He puts a lot of practice in. Does nothing else at practice, it seems. Watterson looks at the basket. Loggins tries to get the steal, but misses.
3 seconds.
And it comes down through McGraw to Sibley. So good defense by the Bullets.
Tony Roberts, Sibley's second rebound for the game. He's certainly playing with an injury.
And Andre Moore, after picking that 14-15 up on Friday night, also being held to 5. So those two must make a turnaround in the last quarter to bring the Bullets back into it.
The reinforcer, Chris McGraw. All 110 kilograms of him with that lovely soft shot. The jumper, it makes it 73-58.
Mike Ellis back in the game for the Wildcats.
Reading the program for this game, Coach Brian Curl's philosophy for success: rebounds plus defense equals championships. They went halfway, he said, on Friday night with their defense, lost the rebounds by a tad. Tonight, I think they're losing on both accounts. Their defense not up to the scratch it was on Friday, and they're down by 3 or 4 in the rebounds at the moment.
The Bullets still in the 2-3 zone, and that's the perfect retort. That's 2 3-pointers when the zone was on. It's not working.
18 points to split, 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. That's as far out as the Wildcats have been. That's a very, very comfortable margin to have. McGraw, bearing in mind that very often the third quarter is the quarter that wins or loses championships. Interestingly, no team which has won the second game of the grand final series has ever taken the title. There's only been 2 that have gone to 3 games. The Bullets just can't win a board at the moment. Bounce pass finds Close. Regulation layup for 2. On that occasion, the Wildcats had 2 to beat 3 and did it. 20 points with 2.5 minutes to go. 20-point lead. And some nerves starting to rattle, I'd say, in the Bullets' camp. Rucker. They need to let go with a few threes. Crawford, another monster rebound for the Alabama Slammer. And the Wildcats content now to milk the clock on every occasion. They can effectively begin to let the air out of the ball. And against the zone defense, I guess, John Musgrove, it's a little easier to do.
Yes, and they will be able to use that time, as you say, and frustrate the Bullets even more. But I think the defense of the Wildcats is doing enough frustrating down that end, their offensive end anyway, because they have just forced the Bullets into making mistakes.
So, double turnover there. The Wildcats got a new shot clock, and that does the Bullets more harm. 1 minute 45 left, third quarter. Ricky Grace makes the drive to the baseline. It's come off a Bullet hand. And will be a Wildcats ball at the side with 11 seconds left on the shot clock.
Just been handed the crowd figures, Dave. 12,560 here for game 3. 12,500. And Mike Ellis at this stage has 7 assists.
And I think that would have been an NBL record had it not been for Friday's crowd.
Now, when you think about it, there were 8,000 in Perth. 13,000 here the other night. That's amazing. It shows the growth of basketball. 33,800 people have witnessed this series in person.
It's a fairly good indicator too that maybe a best-of-5 series throughout it do the crowds a heck of a lot of good in overall attendances.
Not actually sure that the connective tissue around my heart would appreciate it.
Not a bad gate for the Brisbane Bullets either. The NBL give the Brisbane Bullets $14 out of the $15 admission fee. So that'll boost junior basketball in this state.
Ellis makes the first of 2. The lead is out now to 21. And if you reflect back, it was 21 points that the Bullets led by on Friday night. Now 22, 58 plays 80. The lead simply keeps extending. It's gone from 11 at half-time, so the Wildcats have doubled their lead in 10 minutes and 30 seconds of basketball. McGraw Let me hasten to add, though, this game is not over, although it will be if the Bullets don't tighten up on the offensive boards.
Yes, they're losing it themselves at the moment, very loose. They've got to go back as they have to a man-to-man defence, try and force some mistakes, and they've still got plenty of time. They've got to be more patient in offence. They're just rushing things at the moment, but full credit to the Wildcats defence causing a lot of that rushing.
John Musgrove also, perhaps this is where the Wildcats experience Ellis, Crawford and Pinder, 24 years of NBL experience between them, is starting to show.
And we said right at the beginning of the game, the team that got out of the blocks quickest would be the one that probably had the advantage, making the other team play catch-up basketball, and it seems to have been pretty true. The Wildcats got that lead early, and they've had that buffer pretty well all the way through.
I imagine they're very excited in the Ellis household back in Perth. They're watching this game, as no doubt everyone is in Perth. 82-58, and that's a poor shot by Trevor Torrance, an air ball.
It's time now for Derek Rucker to start operating. He really needs to start hitting the threes. The Bullets can't win it by just scoring 2 points up and down the floor.
Fox dishes off. Sibley all the way. Won't go. Still won't go. Can Reese put it in? He's been stripped of the ball, but he'll draw the foul. Well, the Bullets at the moment just can't get an offensive board without losing it, John.
And 2 Wildcat players in there for the rebound. Their enthusiasm right up there still. They're not going to let this game be torn from their grasp. They're hitting it with everything. The Bullets at this stage really do have to start moving their offense around, looking for the three-pointer, probably from Rucker. And I'd like to see a few screens set for him. They're trying to let him get free on his own without too much screen.
That was amazing.
Yeah, the referees let that one go. And there's another vital rebound pulled down by Perth by Torrance.
The Bullets should never have been allowed to lose a handle on the ball there. They had 3 men to 1.
Now Loggins is matching up on Ellis, the 2 left-handers.
Grace.
On Grace, I should say. Ellis is on Fox. It's 82-64.
Look at Calbrook. On his haunches, up and down. He really hasn't sat down all game, I don't think.
Fox gets the steal off Torrance. Will he go all the way? Yes, he does. Premier Wayne Goss there in the box, the Bullets box. He loved that. So the difference 16 once again. Grace, who's been so dominant in this game.
Must put pressure on the ball in defence. You've got to make that clock go and get it down a little faster. Force a shot up before the clock runs down too much.
Perth sticking to the same pattern they have all game, not rushing. There's 5 seconds left as Pinder puts up the fadeaway jumper, and it's good.
What a shot.
Great shot. 84 plays 66.
You really can't use up the clock any better than that. Perth took the air right out of the ball. That was on the buzzer as he flipped his hand. So Perth have used the entire 30 seconds. They still hold this 18-point lead. And John Musgrove, what can the Bullets do to get back?
Well, it's got to start with defence like Perth did on Friday night. They've got to push it up and find something extra deep down to force those turnovers. That's all, because Perth are just scoring virtually at will. They're still hitting about 70% of their shots, and you're not going to come back unless you can force some mistakes.
Well, they've gone for the quick outlet this time. Ellis, I thought, might have held it up. That's an intentional. The basket stands. Ellis will get the bonus, and the Wildcats will get possession.
I think that's disappointing for Andre Moore. Although it was in his back there, I think Andre grabbed him as he went through and held him up because he was coming at him fairly fast. More than anything, I was thinking he was trying to stop him, knocking him flat over. But the referees had called intentional. He did get him in the back. That's what they've seen.
The Ellis family like it back in Perth. I would say everybody watching in Perth would appreciate that. Mike Ellis got the bonus, and more importantly, John, the Wildcats get possession again.
Yeah, that's the last thing I think the Bullets wanted. He got the 2 points, the bonus and possession. You can't do better than that.
So Ellis it is again, guarded this time by Duncan Johnston. He's had limited bench time, but really has made the most of it. Most impressive, that young man, as is Paul Reese. Ellis, I think though perhaps the Wildcats' experience and that will simply carry them through at this stage. The Alabama Slammer does what he does best.
Well, basketball, as we've said so many times this weekend, a game of momentum, and really the momentum right on the Wildcat side. I can't see the Bullets really having enough in them to go and change the score at this stage. I think they've got it locked up. All the Wildcats have got to do now is just play smart and keep on playing sensibly as they have all game.
Travel calls by Paul Reese. Well, the lead now is 23 points, which is the most it's been in the match.
Tiny Pinder almost fainted then when the whistle went. I think he thought that was number 5.
Yes, he and Loggins both on 4 fouls.
There's just not enough petrol left in the Bullets tanks at this stage either. Some of the players really running up and down on the spot.
Crawford, who's been simply inspirational, misses that one. Rucker, who always seems to position himself so well for rebounds, gets one across to Fox, and it's a Bullets ball. Substitution's called. Leroy Loggins comes back into the game. Fox sits down. 7 minutes to go in the game. 89 to 66.
So I've enjoyed one thing from the Wildcats tonight has been their game plan that has worked in offense. That they've spread that ball wide and they've been very patient. And boy, has it paid some dividends. Defensively, though, you can't go past them when they've held the Bullets at this stage in the game to just 68 points. They're going to hold them to certainly under 100 points and probably down to 90. That's excellent defense.
It's about as few points as the Bullets would have scored in any game this year.
And of course, at this stage, the NBL Grand Final winning margin is under threat by the Wildcats.
Inside to Crawford over the top of Reese. He's just unstoppable, the Alabama slammer. James Crawford now has 16 points.
There's a hush fallen over the crowd here too. Most of the noise coming from the Perth bench.
There's a bit of nail biting going on in the stalls, I think.
Foul called. I think fairly understandably the crowd gone a bit quiet because there really isn't a whole lot to cheer about at the moment. The Bullets still trying to find that something extra, and said a couple of times they've got to do it in defence, but the Wildcats just playing it so steadily they're not finding anything.
David Closer holding the foul, so it's a Bullets ball.
Actually, these two teams have shut up most crowds around the league this year because after Alan Black was sacked, everyone thought that Perth weren't going to be a force this year. The Brisbane Bullets, everyone wrote them off at the start of the season when they had a whole new lineup.
Perth have certainly shown a new method for starting the season, making it to the finals, going over to Westside and getting beaten so comprehensively by a team that finished at the bottom end of the ladder. Come the other end of the season, however, they're here and right in the box seat now to take out the NBL championship for the first time ever.
Well, and a blocking foul on Rucker. Chris McGraw it was.
The Wildcats bench like it, and the bonus. So the basket stands, and Crawford will go to the stripe with a chance to make 3. While most of the crowd is hushed, there's a few small pockets around the place that are fairly excited at the moment. Perth have brought up that man, I guess, is fairly worried with very good reason. So Perth have brought over a core of about 100 fans. Rather, those fans have brought themselves over.
You can imagine quite a big crowd at the airport when they get back, they carry that trophy over with them.
Yes, indeed, around 11:15 tonight. But check with the airport, with the airline, Australian Airlines. A 3-pointer from Leroy. Does go. So it's a joy for the crowd.
Tip in from James Crawford helped it on its way.
Grace almost took the slap out from Rucker. Grace again. The Wildcats content still just to work down the clock. They don't need to take any risks. Crawford has made the drive, been fouled as he brought his hands up, so that will be a shooting foul. He should go to the line for 2.
With such a huge lead and only minutes remaining before the conclusion of this game, will we see any showtime from Perth?
I don't think so. I think they're totally focused on the job they came here to do. Their game plan obviously didn't work on Friday night, but it's worked to perfection tonight. It's probably not being unfair to say a couple of players were perhaps overawed by the occasion. They have choked a little on Friday. They have refocused. Credit there to the coaching staff, the team owners and team psychologist Neil McLean.
James Crawford, he has 20.
Derek Rucker again. Andre Moore goes over the top and makes 2. So Brisbane will not be denied. Pinder. Grace, clever pass from Pinder. Tend not to notice some of the little things every now and again, but that was a little bounce pass in front of the running Grace. Close. Every possession the Wildcats get is absolutely crucial for the Bullets now. They need to break them as much as they can. Not sure how that got to Crawford, but it did. And so he will go to the line once again. Leroy Loggins is 5 fouls. And the money man exits the ball game with 17 points, 5 rebounds.
And a very frustrated man too, I think. This last half just hasn't been the way the Bullets had planned it to be at half-time. Notice even now, just no confidence in the team there. Playing defence instead of doing as the Wildcats did on Friday night by pressing out and putting pressure on the ball. They're allowing allowing the Wildcats players, particularly James Crawford, to move, getting the keyway, and then trying to stop him once he reached the paint. The only thing you're going to do against a player like Crawford and Pinder in the paint is usually foul him, and that's what's been happening.
So Crawford has made the first. 96 plays 73, 23 points to lead again. That doesn't go. Fox brings it forward. It's close alongside him. Johnston, Sibley needs to shoot. Goes close to the basket. Rejected from Crawford. Great effort by James Crawford once again. Hasn't let up on his intensity at all. Close makes three. Now there is a man with mixed emotions. Nick Rosato from Western Underwriters, who along with the man in the white shirt behind him, Gary Rendell of Radio 6 PM in Perth, have to sign a $100,000 cheque if the Wildcats take this series.
Pity the players don't get too much of that with the salary cap.
Once again, a rebound goes to the Wildcats.
Mike Ellis looking comfortable.
He's enjoying it from a worm's eye view. Leroy Loggins out of the game with 17 points, 5 rebounds, shot 57%, had 1 assist. 98-73. This is just the last rites really for Perth. I think Brisbane are gone. Close for 3, rims out.
He hasn't had much luck with those over the series, has he?
No. Much. Rucker goes to Johnston, to Moore. Little tip-in attempt by Sibley. Eventually, it's Andre Moore who gets the last touch, and he's now got 16 points. We've got to pay credit to the Wildcats after such a traumatic season.
Traumatic 2 seasons, really. Yeah. Take last season with the airline dispute and the death of Scott Fenton as well. It's been a hard 2 years for the Wildcats.
His parents are over here. Keith and Pam Fenton over here watching. 98-75, and I imagine for Perth being so remote and feeling like, you know, they're sometimes derided by the rest of the basketball community, they've done a fantastic job. The program over there is so successful.
Well, I read in the program for this final that the Perth team have sometimes felt like the lonely child with their nose pressed up against the window, looking in from outside. But they really aren't feeling all that lonely at the moment. The Ellis family, Mike's wife Rob up in the back, and I'm not sure where baby Cody is at the moment, but I'm sure even baby Cody, Mike's young boy, will be happy now. He'll certainly be wearing his Wildcats uniform at the airport when they come back tonight.
It'd be sweet revenge for Mike Ellis from 1987 because he was there in 1982. He's one of the originals, and of course he was in the losing side, as was Cal Bruton.
Well, that's right.
1987.
The two men, I guess, who feel the most emotion here today are those two you just mentioned. Cal Bruton, who of course had the falling out. Maybe the Wildcats are bulletproof after all. And of course Mike Ellis. It's been a long time coming, a championship for Mike Ellis. And I try not to show Perth colours, but I have to say he's one guy who does deserve a championship.
The Wildcats have the chance to go into the record books too as the greatest grand final winning team, because the record is only 26 points. They're now leading by 23.
Here's Rucker on the fast break.
And the team that had the biggest winning margin ever in a grand final was the Brisbane Bullets in 1985 when they defeated Adelaide.
Well, Watto tried desperately to stop Rucker, but not foul, and just couldn't get out of the way. And Brian Curl biting his lip. In shooting percentages, they tell the story. Ellis has shot 82%, Grace 62, Crawford 69, and for the Bullets, Rucker 44, Moore 44, and Loggins 57. Enough said.
So that's got to be credit to the defence. Bullets are used to Boondall, they're used to big crowds, they should be used to the occasion too. They had plenty of opportunity to get used to that on Friday night and win it. So really the credit to the defence of the Wildcats is Watterson scores down the other end, still holding the Bullets under 80 points. They'll probably go pretty close to keeping them there for the entire game. To hold a team like the Bullets to under 80 points in any game is a very, very credible defensive effort.
Andre Moore with a long-range shot. One thing, John, I felt after game 2 was that the Bullets starting 5 played a lot of minutes, and whereas Cal Bruton has rotated his players a lot more in this series. And I know we say that the Bullets played successfully at the end of the season with 4 games in 10 days, but they look heavy-legged out there today.
Yeah, I don't know that makes much of a difference. I think they've just been outplayed. I don't think they've been weary or anything. They've proven they can play all year with those type of statistics. So I don't think it should take away the defensive pressure that Perth have put on them.
Robert Sibley pulls down a rebound. He's had 5 rebounds in this quarter. Rucker misses. Fox does too. It comes back to Ricky Grace. And Darren Breeding's on there. That's good to see because his parents, John and Jan, are over here. He paid their fares all the way from Adelaide. former South Australian young Darren, so he's getting a bit of
Those girls
glory.
paid their own fares, the Perth Wildcats cheer squad, and they've certainly had their ambition realised. Their ambition was to support the team in a grand final win. It's a shame that only 6 of them could come over. It's credit the Perth supporters who donated very generously to the whip around.
I think they're as good as any cheer girl squad that I've seen. Their dancing is fantastic.
Yep. Mike Ellis comes out of the game. He knows that his team has got this one. Pete Hansen, who's been in the squad all year but hasn't actually been on the team list, has trained with them. An American playing in Perth for the Perry Lakes Hawks, and he's been a marvellous acquisition to the side in terms of what you might call in boxing a sparring partner. Provides bulk. They use him as a sort of an entree more to train against.
I was just thinking that plane trip back, Dave, you're going to have one very, very happy plane. It's normally a very long trip, of course, from Brisbane or anywhere on the East Coast back to Perth, but I don't think it'll be more enjoyed at any time throughout the season than the trip back there tonight.
No, it'll be a fairly wet flight. I have to admit I'm staying on tonight at Brisbane Hospitality. The Wildcats will be going back commentatorless, which I don't think will do them any harm at all.
I wouldn't fancy being a stewardess on that flight.
The team owners have come down to the bench, Bob Williams and Kerry Stokes. Kerry Stokes already congratulating the players. I'm going to say the job isn't done yet. Certainly
Still got a minute 48.
keep trying. 102 plays 81.
And I can't emphasise again the defensive effort. 117 points average score of the Brisbane Bullets throughout this season. That means that there's 37 or 36 points or so they've restricted them from their scoring average throughout the season. That really is a mighty job, because when you look at the game, you will tend to look at the offensive prowess of the Wildcats. A great shooting percentage from the field, which was excellent, but boy, they really started it at the hard work end, and that was defense.
They say Brisbane are a 3-man team with Rucker, Loggins and Moore. Well, 2 of those have fouled out. Loggins with 17 points, Moore with 18 points, and both of them shot well below their normal shooting average from the field. Rucker shot, at least Moore shot 44% from the field. 1 minute and a half to go.
One player I'm so thrilled for in the Perth Wildcats lineup is James Crawford. He has been one of the elite players, if not alongside Leroy Loggins, the elite player of the 80s and now into the 90s. And it would have been just an injustice had he gone through an NBL career here in Australia without ever having claimed a title. Congratulations, James Crawford.
So the youngsters are on.
You have
Craig
to feel,
Evans too.
I was going to say, you have to feel for those guys to play in a grand final team. And James Crawford shooting at will now. 105 plays 83. Crawford has 24. Grace, still the game high scorer with 25, hasn't scored this quarter.
Greg Fox is doing a little bit of what he did in game 2, where he came out and shot the lights out of game 1 in Perth, where he shot 20 points, most of which came in the last quarter.
That's the charge. The Wildcats really can't do anything wrong at the moment.
And they forced him into that to set the screen in the right position and drove the player into Greg Fox into that screen, so it was a good defensive setup that. But credit also to the Bullets tonight. They've gone through a season, as you said, they weren't even predicted by most people to finish in the top 6, and they've come through to the championship once again. A feeling in Brisbane that it's the start of a new dynasty. Brian Curl has a team here that has a lot of room for growth and improvement, and I think they'll be a big danger come 1991 season, as will the Wildcats be very keen to defend that title, of course.
Well, the pictures are saying it all at the moment, and Robbie Dempster is the man who's going to the charity strike. Much travelled player, as we said before in this telecast, originally from Manjimup, and the people from Manjimup will be having a ball in the moment. And the Ellis family are enjoying it. It's about time to get Cody out of the cot, I think, Robin. Bring him up to the television set to watch his dad pick up that trophy.
I noticed the champagne's out there.
Give him a taste of champagne.
Yeah, I've only seen Mike Ellis carry away one major trophy. It was at the Crown Prince tournament in Bangkok in 1985 when the Wildcats represented Australia. On that occasion, when Mike picked the trophy up, he broke it.
What a shot off the glass.
Darren Breedy becoming an expert in that last 3-point shot on the end quarter.
As I said, the last trophy Mike Ellis picked up, he broke. I can bet you London to a brick. He won't break this one. 16 seconds left in the 1990 Hungry Jacks National Basketball League season. The clock has been stopped with 13.9 on it. Eric Watterson will go to the line to shoot a 1-on-1, but it's academic.
You should see the Perth bench. I mean, the photographers are here, the owners are here, the cheergirls are going berserk. And for the Brisbane Bullets, well, winners are grinners and losers can please themselves.
Well, they've been very, very good losers to, I think, the most worthy championship contention sides in the league. Watterson makes them.
And so it's 109 to 86.
Don't worry, there'll be some celebrations tonight in Brisbane town too.
These are the death throws. Sibley, the intercept comes from David Close. Eric Watterson, can he score the last basket? Gives it to Robbie Dempster. Sibley lets it go. The clock strikes 0. And the Perth Wildcats are the 1990 Hungry Jacks National Basketball League champions by a margin of 23 points, 109 to 86. It's been a marvellous year of basketball, and I would say a fitting 3-game series to end it on, Peter.
Yes, it's almost deja vu. In 87, the second game score was 106 to 87 to Brisbane. The other way around. Congratulations to Perth. Well done. They've come back from adversity after losing the second game by 16 points.
For the Brisbane Bulls.
The crowd here, well, they're giving Perth due credit, which is great to see. 13,000 people here at the entertainment centre.
That's a great sight. That is a great sight.
The best of friends. We saw that when they first saw each other over in Perth, like old buddies. They were teammates, of course, back in 85 when they won the title for the Brisbane Bullets.
Jeff Allen on crutches and the shirt and tie in the background has stuck with the team despite his dreadful Achilles tendon injuries this year. And to be fair, the team have stuck with him. They brought him across. They brought every member of their squad across. This is a very special moment for Carl Brown and his guys.
Hey, this is sensational. I've waited a long time to be able to stand up here, and I didn't believe it was going to be this good. Thank you. I just want to introduce your Perth Wildcats. Number 4, Eric Watterson. Number 5, Tiny Pinder. Number 7, James Crawford. Number 9, the big fella, Jeff Allen. Number 10, Trevor Torres. Number 11, Steve Davis. I'm not sure who's next. Who's next? That's right, number 15, Ricky Grace. Number 20, Brett Ellis. Number 23, Craig Evans. Number 24, Robbie Dempster. And the player that would have been named Rookie of the Year if he was in a worse team, David Close. Assistant coach was David Hancock. We had a couple other fellas up here that helped us a hell of a lot this year. The guy that kept us fit and kept us running, kept us on the court. Jimmy Brendel, better known as James Bridle. And the man that kept us sane through this entire season, close, Neil McLean.
but all he did is he made the rest of the team work their backsides off for the entire season, and he certainly helped us. Peter Hansen! That's it. That's your Perth Wildcats.